Well, hello, everybody. Today, my guest is the beautiful Nicole Bryant. How are you, Nicole?
Hi, I am good. How are you? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I am doing absolutely wonderful. So, to start things off here, what I'm going to get you to do is tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from. And then, right from there, Nicole, you can just go right into your story of what brought you to your stillness.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, hi everybody. My name is Nicole Bryant, and I am a mother. I have two sons. One is in the Navy, and he should be graduating next week. So, but he is a U.S. sailor, so yay for him.
Yeah.
My youngest is a basketball player in the ninth grade, and he actually just got put on varsity. So we're excited about that. He's freshman playing varsity basketball. I'm also an entrepreneur. I am a CFO of Suits for Judah, which is our nonprofit organization here in Dallas, Texas. I'm also the founder and CEO of Warrior Queen, which is my company that I created while I started when I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. I wanted to have something where people could understand and know what breast cancer really was about. Because all people knew was they seen people with bald heads, they seen people with pink rags on, and then it was the Coleman walk. Like that's it. Nobody actually really knew that it was different types of breast cancers or what they do to you, different medicines. So I felt like it was my duty almost, to start the organization so I can get the word out. And I just took people on a journey through my story so that they could understand, this is not an easy battle at all. And that's very important to get your mammograms. It's very important to take care of your health, especially as women and especially as women of color. So that's one of my other companies. The other company I do have is Word on the Street with Judah. And we are a TV show. We got started around the think 2019 when the George Floyd riots and all that stuff came about. I just wanted to go to a protest because I had never went to one. And so we went to one and we were filming with our cameras. And then next thing you know, everybody just kept calling us to come back out and come film. So we ended up doing that for the entire year, just filming all the different protests, all the different rallies, getting interviews from so many different people here in Dallas to get their perspective on how they felt about what was going on in the city. And I wanted to be a journalist pretty much my whole life. So that was like a dream to actually have people want to see our work and for us to get published, for us to be on NPR, to be able to talk about, the article we read, the documentary we shot, because we're filmmakers as well. And like I said, we've been doing this for about 5 years and it's all community based. We want to make sure that our underprivileged, under-resourced communities are heard and that their voices are amplified so they can get the things that they need to survive where they're actually living at, because some places are harsh, some places forget about them because they're in South Dallas and they consider that the bad part or the hood, but people are still there and all these people need our help. So I'm a big, big advocate for volunteering, working in nonprofit organizations and just really helping out around my community. I'm from Corsicana, Texas. It's like an hour or so from Dallas. I went to Navarro College. I know people probably have heard about Navarro College. If you watch that show Cheer, that they had on Netflix, I actually graduated from there in 2004 with my degree in early childhood education. Went on, I taught for a little bit, maybe about 3 or 4 years, and then I kind of got burnt out a little bit about it because I was really upset about the red tape that goes on. Like you really want to I really like teaching the children, getting them engaged, getting them involved, but it's not like that. It's teaching around the test or else. So I just decided that I had to find me something else different to do. And
Mhm. One thing that I really found fascinating when we had done our pre-podcast interview,
Mhm.
because what had brought you definitely to your silence was, breast cancer that happened
breast
with
cancer,
you. And the passion that you showed towards that about how supporting other women out there that have never experienced it before, or they had no idea what they were walking into. And then to have
right?
somebody like you that can be an advocate for them now and to help really basically hold their hand and guide them and be their support throughout this whole journey. That is what really touched me when we had been talking before. But even before that, just the strength that you had shared about your story, which had got you to that point when you were diagnosed. Do you want to go a little bit more into that? So we are going a little bit into your past now,
Yeah.
right? So what
Mhm.
yeah, your whole story was extremely touching to me because you can kind of see where the progression went from there to now where you are today and
Right.
the woman that you have become and
Yeah.
how proud your sons should be of their mama.
They
Yeah,
are. They tell me on the regular. They're some they're awesome boys. They're awesome
yeah.
boys, and they've been just as much my support system as I've been for them, especially when I was going through the cancer. But as coming up as a little girl, I was a quiet kid, straight A's, minding my business, really didn't want to bother anyone. And around about third grade or so, I ended up getting sexually molested, and it was a maybe for about like a year and a half, and it changed me a lot. It
Mm.
withdrew me. Um, my mom didn't know what was going on. Nobody really knew because I didn't say anything. I just kept the act up, kept doing what I needed to do till, luckily he, ended up getting locked up. And so that's what broke me away free from those chains. And it did take a toll on me because as I got older, I was very self-conscious about myself. I didn't want anybody looking at me. I didn't like men. I was fearful of them. I was tore up about it because I mean, you're in the third grade. What are you supposed to do? And who's going to listen to you? And you sure can't tell them to stop or fight them off. You're too tiny. So, but that also gave me strength as I got older when I got to high school to be able to, stand on my own 2 feet, to be able to tell a man no, to be able to tell a boy no, to fight back if I have to. And just going from there, going to college really helped out a lot. It took me out of that not comfort, but I felt like I was in a box because of that. And it ran my life for pretty much the times that I was at school. But once I got to playing volleyball and, really, getting out there and exploring different things in high school, it kind of, made me feel a little bit better, and I kind of shook it off a little bit. But it was always there, but I was able to progress forward and going to college and graduating with my degree in early childhood education. So, like I stated earlier, I had been teaching for a few years, and after I got done teaching, it was a little boring, so I just switched over to doing medical work, and I was doing that for a while, and then one January in 2019, I had this horrible pain in my left breast. Horrible. It's like I didn't understand. No clothes could touch it. Nothing could touch it. It just hurt so bad. And my sister worked at Parkland Hospital here in Dallas. So I went to Parkland, and they wanted to run tests. And the doctor, he couldn't even touch it because every time he would go to touch it, just the slightest touch, and I like slid off the table because that's how much pain I was in with that. And, he was like, "Oh my God, man, we're so sorry. We have to get you scheduled for a diagnostic mammogram." And that was like about 3 days later. So I go get the sign up and go get the mammogram. I'm shook, totally scared. I mean, I don't know what to expect. And I have to get a mammogram. And of course, the only thing you hear about a mammogram is that it hurts, and it hurts. And I'm like, okay, but is it a long purpose of hurt? I don't know what to expect going in, right? So I go and get the mammogram done, and yes, it's not the most pleasant, but I would do it any day, any day, to make sure that to make sure that whatever they need to see, they see and they find. So they saw the tumor. The doctor went in, did a biopsy of it, and it was already super hard, like rock hard. Like when she tried to stick the arrow through there to get the sample, it kind of pushed all the way through. And so she was like, "Oh my God, I've never had that happen before. I'm so sorry." Me and her, we were just crying together because we it was different. And of course, I'm scared out of my mind. I don't know what to think. And so we send everything off. I come home and I'm waiting for about 2 weeks. And then I get a call February 6th at 9:34 in the morning. And I answered the phone and she's like, hello, am I speak to Miss Polk? I'm like, this is her. And she's like, well, we got your test results back. And I'm sorry to inform you, but you have breast cancer. And I froze. I mean, because it was like nine, like I say, I will never forget that 9:34 a.m. as long as I live, because how how are you just telling me this? How are you telling me I got this? And where did I get this from? Because it's not in my family. It's no one else has ever had it. I was the first one. And I was just sitting there, it's like I could not believe what was going on in my life. I was like, oh my God, I had just gotten to a really good place in my life. I had a really good job. I was about to get my an apartment. I had a really great house because I was transitioning from, of course, Canada with my mom to back to North Richland Hills. And then when I got that, it completely changed everything because it's like, what do I do now? So, and it took me a week before I told like anybody, what was going on. Only people knew was my partner and my sister because she worked at Parkland. And so, we had to sit down and we had to talk it out and we had to come up with a plan. And it was one day I was just sitting by myself, probably like 2 or 3 days after I had got diagnosed. And I was just sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? Am I going to stop? Am I going to quit? Am I strong enough to handle chemo? And then I got like a little kick in the butt from somewhere. And it was like, yes, you will. And yes, you are. They said early detection saves lives. You did exactly what you needed to do. Let's go and make this happen. And I was like, you know what? Put my big girl panties on. I stood up and I was like, no, it's not going to break me. I will beat this. I will beat this. I had to tell my sons and my family finally. And a lot of people thought I was joking when I, finally, when I had to post literally the picture of me at the oncology office for anybody to believe me. Because they're like, no, you're so healthy. You don't have this, you don't have that, and I don't, no high blood pressure, no, nothing, nothing. I was completely healthy. And for that to come out of nowhere, it really set me down. Really did.
I have a question. Did you just wake up the one morning and it was your breast was so sore? Or was it
Yeah.
over a progression, or you just literally woke up the one morning and there was something definitely wrong?
Okay, so from as far back as I can remember, I've that breast always had a lump. It always had like something in there that felt different from the time I was in high school. And I would tell my doctor that, what is this? I don't like the way it feels. It's not right. And
Right.
he's like, oh, well, if it isn't causing you any problems, it could be a cyst. Don't worry about it. So like, don't worry about it. But it kept growing over all those years that, nobody was really paying attention to me saying something is wrong with my body. This is not right. And
Mm.
then just one morning, I woke up and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, well, maybe I, pinched my wrist. I slept wrong. I did something. But no, I mean, not even to be able to wear a bra, like a t-shirt like this, nothing. I mean, it was so painful. And I
Mm.
was like, oh my God, I don't know what this is. I have to go to the doctor. And breast cancer was never a thing that crossed my mind, ever,
Mm-hmm.
ever. And I was like, okay, so how do I get this or how do I get rid of it? And because I had triple negative breast cancer, it's one of the most aggressive forms, you have to instantly start with chemo. I mean, instantly start with chemo. They import a port in your chest where they distribute the medicine because it actually goes into the port through a little tube that comes um, right up here under your neck, and then it takes it in your heart and throughout the rest of your body. So, and they have like it's a little hook needle that they take to do it, hook in there, hook up to your chemo. And I would have like the first 4 rounds I had 4.5 hours every other week, in the chemo chair. Yeah, it was like twice a week. Yeah, for 4.5 hours getting those medicines. And to make sure you get through, they give you Benadryl, of course, because 4 hours is a long time to have that dripping through. And then I switched to my last 4 weeks was a different medicine. They call it Red Devil. And it's blood red. And I mean it's red. And it is so strong that I was every time after I finished chemo, the next week I was admitted into the hospital for like a week because it just my poor little body was just tired and it was fighting so hard and that was so strong. I ended up having to get my chemo medicine cut in half so that I could still be able to function because I was still, still running Soups for Julie, which is a nonprofit organization, because I had to find something to get my mind off of what my body was fighting and going through, because I didn't want my mind to have my body feeling like, oh, you got to stop, you got to quit. No, if I keep this busy, my body will understand. You still busy. You still have a purpose. You still have things to do on this earth. You still will fight through this. And so I just poured my heart into our nonprofit work and then volunteering. On the days that I could go, I would go. And on, days I couldn't, I didn't go. And then when I finally lost all my hair, and everything, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay at the house now. I think it's time for me to sit down. Because, I don't want people to feel a way about, seeing me like that, because nobody had ever seen me like that. I hadn't seen myself like that.
Mhm.
So it was just really eye-opening.
So when you were brought to your stillness there, because you would have had to have been,
Hmm.
what do you feel that you learned the most from that time in your life?
I believe empowerment. It's like I really believe I truly finally understood exactly what the word meant, because it's easy just to say it. Like before, I was always saying, I'm empowered, I can do this. Yeah, yeah. But now I'm like, no, I really just fought for my life. I'm really fighting for my life right now. And I can't quit. I can't back down. I have to do this. There is no other option for me. This is what I was telling myself. There is no other option for me. And that stillness, I recognized my power, the power I had over my body, the power I had over my heart, my soul, my mind. Once I grasped the hold of that, I was like, that's it. I am alive. I am living. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to get through this. And the cancer was terrible. Yes, it was. But it also brought me a lot of things that I've never had or never experienced in my life before. I grew in ways that are just immeasurable. Like, it really changed my life. Yes, everything was bad when I was sick, but it also encouraged me. Like I said, gave me power, kind of gave me peace in a way. And I would say only because getting that peace of mind helped me really, really take a deep dive into who Nicole is, who Nicole was, and who Nicole is going to be coming out of this, because I could never be the old Nicole. I will never, ever be that woman again. To me, I tell everybody, chemo cleansed me, like from the inside out. It was like I got a whole new body, a whole new mindset. And I got it from my oldest son, because that's what he said. I love Wonder Woman. So he's like, Mama, you just like Wonder Woman. You got a brand new body, you got new hair, you got everything. So now you got a whole new life. And I was like, you know what, son? You're right.
And
You're
that's
right.
such a
You're
good way to look at it too. That the innocence of a child to see that, that
right.
that's amazing.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I thought they were going to be terrified, scared to be around me, scared to touch me. Those were some of the things I had to deal with, because looking at my face changing, from being clear to having no hair anywhere to having, switching to chemo medicines, and then you break out, terribly. You end up losing teeth, have to get, teeth pulled because of the pain and the medicine and how strong it is. Like it took a toll. It took a toll on my body. It really did. But it did not phase them. All they saw was, that's my mama.
But also
That's my
even
mama.
having to show your vulnerability,
Mhm.
because a lot of people have a hard time to do that. But even
Absolutely.
to show your vulnerability would have really brought the strengths out within you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that. I appreciate it, because it really did, because I was so, you know, human nature has us thinking, I'm scared to be vulnerable. I can't tell this, I can't tell that. And I was like, no, I was going live on Facebook and talking. I was giving stats, I was giving definitions, I was telling them the type of medicine I was on. I was showing them, what the chemo, area looks like. And so many people, so many women actually ended up going to get mammograms, because one of my cousins, she was like 51, and she was like, Nikki, I never had a mammogram before, but seeing you, what you went through and what you've been saying, I went and got one. And I was like, well, that's beautiful. Do that. And so a lot more of my friends have, and family members have been more encouraged. They're more apt to go to the doctor now and say, because I've been so adamant, get your mammogram. early detection save lives. Tell them what you want. Don't let them tell you what they think you need.
Hmm.
Only you know your body. You have to stand up to them and let them know. If you feel a lump, tell them, I want a mammogram. If they don't do it, go somewhere else. But if you feel a lump, that's serious enough to get a mammogram.
And
So
what I absolutely love about your story is through your experiences, you literally went live to give like through your knowledge, which gave people the power for them to go forward and get the mammograms and learn more about the breast cancer, look more into themselves.
yes, 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 absolutely. Because I felt like everybody thought breast cancer was just supposed to be some cute thing you do once a month in October. And I'm like, no, breast cancer doesn't come just in October for people. It's every day, it's year round. People are getting 1 in 8 women are being diagnosed with breast cancer every day. And that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
One in
A
eight.
lot. Yeah,
That's a lot.
two of my friends were diagnosed. And yeah, that was quite shocking. And then,
Yeah.
of course, when you know that individual, then it hits a lot closer to home. And then you think more about it.
Exactly, exactly. And I think that's what, of course, I know that's what it did for me. I'm just glad that it did the positive way instead of going the negative and having me just give up on life because I'm not one of those people that's going to give up on life. So I
Right.
just never have been. So I've always been a fighter. That was my main thing. No, I have to figure out everything I can about this. I need to know what stage, what does this mean? What does that mean? And I had some amazing doctors and plastic surgeons. And I mean, anytime I asked the question, I wanted to know about something, they gave me the answer. They told me where to go look and find it. They supplied me with any resources that I asked for to get through the cancer so that I wouldn't completely lose my mind because I did have to start seeing a psychiatrist because I was having, just I was so depressed and I was just so just I think it was at the beginning part of the chemo when my hair first started, my hair first started falling out. Because I woke up, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I was laying in bed and I woke up and I did like this. And I was like, okay, I can't have it falling out. Wow, I can't see this. So I just got up and it was like I said about 4 in the morning. And I just took the clippers and just went ahead and just shaved my head bald because I was like, I don't want to traumatize nobody, myself nor my kids, with, they standing in there with me and then all of a sudden, just clumps of hair falling everywhere. So it's like, no. So I went ahead and took care of that. I tried to be proactive, and a lot of things that I was doing when I was dealing with breast cancer. I know even sometimes when I was in the hospital, if I woke up from a surgery or something, I would go live just to let the people know I was okay and to tell them what happened, what we did and, how is it going to help me get better in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
um,
So really, you also talked your way all the way through it.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
I had to. I had to all the way through it. Even when I got to remission and got ready to go do my surgery, it's like I still had to talk, you know, my way through it to make sure I still was encouraged and empowered. And in doing so, it did give me more strength. And it turned from me speaking about myself and making me feel better to speaking to the world, speaking to the next woman, speaking to the next group of women who, needed to hear that it is okay to go get a mammogram. You don't have to wait to 40, even though they lowered the age. I still don't think that's low enough, to be honest, because too many women are getting it. 40 is not low enough in my book and my standards.
Mm-hmm. Um, that was going to be my next question.
Mm,
Speaking to all the other women out there that are going through this experience right now, that have just been diagnosed, or what advice do you want to give to them?
stay encouraged, stay uplifted, stay empowered. You can fight through anything. You are a warrior. You are a queen. You can do this. Live, live, and live some more. Don't let chemo stop you. Still get up and on the days you're feeling good, put on your little makeup, your favorite dress, eat your favorite little snack, just whatever makes you happy. Try to instill that every day, just so you don't get so bogged down. I know there's going to be days where it's hard. You're going to cry. You're going to ask why. I know I've been there. But I promise you, it's so much, it'll get so much better for you in the end, as long as you fight. Just remember, early detection saves lives. Just fight, push through. You got this. Stay encouraged, stay empowered, and journal.
Mhm. Mhm.
Journal, journal. You don't think you will? Trust me, when you're sitting in the bed, and of course some of you ladies know when you're sitting home and you can't do nothing through chemo, writing is like the best release. And the coloring books. I would say those will get you through when you want to just not have your mind thinking about what you feeling, what you're going through, all the medicine you have to take. Those are great escapes. Those are great escapes.
You had mentioned earlier about your business. And
Hmm.
so that's where I want to take the audience now, because
Okay,
people can reach out to you.
absolutely.
So this is where everything that you say is going to be put into the podcast notes. So for those
Okay.
listening, and you want to reach out, this is where you would reach out to.
Exactly. So you can find me on Facebook, and it's Warrior Queen, WARRIOR, and then just Queen, QUEEN. And on my page you'll see all type of breast cancer resources. My email address is on there as well, and it's just warriorqueen08 at outlook.com. My phone number is listed on there as well if you're looking for a speaker, a teacher, just encouragement, knowledge. You can definitely find me on those. I am also on Instagram, but it's under Nicole B Producing on Instagram. And I do the same thing, but I show more of it on the media side on my Instagram. So there's more videos on there because I'm a producer. So it's more videos on there about, my journey and going through, breast cancer as well. And we also have a link tree. Now the link tree has everything, all the articles that I've done, that's been written about me, and then our nonprofit work. And so, of course, you just go to Linktree and type in Suits, SUITSFOR, and then Judah, JUDAH, and it'll pull up all the history. It'll also pull up ways to get in contact with me. If you want to book me to come speak, I've spoken at schools, spoken at plenty of festivals, and I've done plenty of podcast interviews as well, just kind of empowering women and letting everybody know that, hey, you can reach out to me. I will talk to you about anything, everything, especially when it has to do with breast cancer, breast health, and mental health. I'm definitely here for you guys. And once you get on those platforms, you'll be able to reach me anytime, day or night, email. I love emails. Yeah, you definitely email me. You can text as well, because like I stated, my phone number is on there and and I will get back to you and we'll figure this thing out.
And I think that's perfect. You've sent out a lot of information, which, like I said, is going to be in the podcast notes. And
Mhm.
I think you're going to be helping so many people out there, and you are helping a lot of people out there. But I just want people to know that Nicole is a very good resource. If you are in dire straits, you need help, you're confused, you need someone to talk to. She's gone through the whole process, and she is here to help you. And that's the whole reason for this, because you are not alone. And we've got amazing, beautiful Nicole to help you as well. So at this time, Nicole, I want to say thank you so much for being on my podcast, and you are an absolute blessing. And I am so thankful that you are a part of my journey. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I totally appreciate it. This is beautiful, and I really look forward to helping out who all I can.
Absolutely. Well, you have an absolutely wonderful day, and blessings to all.
This is all. Thank you.